Nothing says spring like little chickies. Eat. Easter. Start with 6 boiled eggs that you've gone ahead and peeled. I'm going to cut the bottom of my boiled egg off so that it will sit up properly, like that. And then I'm going to cut the top off too because he needs his little hat. I'm going to get all the yellow centers out. I'm going to be smashing these egg yolks with my fork. I like mine to be just a little bit of textured, but if you don't like them textured, you could even put it in a blender or a food processor to do this. We're going to start adding some ingredients here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of mustard. Now this is all to taste, so if you like more or less of anything, you certainly can. I'm going to do a teaspoon of the juice from my pickles. Just gonna add a little bit more of this. So I probably had about 1/8 of a cup in here of my French onion dip, but you may want more or less. It's really up to you. Here comes some pepper to taste. We got some paprika, and again, to taste, just a little sprinkle. And we're gonna mix it all up. I'm going to put a piping bag inside of this jar right here, and we're going to be putting these eggs in here. By the way, if you don't have a piping bag, you could easily use a regular Ziploc bag. I'm just using the piping bag because that's what I'm used to. And I'm just going to put this inside. So I am ready to put my mixture in here. By the way, sometimes these turn out a little bit, different, a little goofy, but you can still use everything. You just find ways around it and just make it yours. You can't throw away everything that doesn't turn out very well when you're doing all this cooking stuff. You just find ways to make it special. So once this gets in here, you can even use your fingers to kind of tap it. That's what makes it look a little fuzzy, and it could kind of like start taking on its little chicken shape. Time for his little hat. We're going to work on his feet. Whenever I think about deviled eggs, I think about Aunt Kate, because whenever we used to get together with our family, she used to always be the one to make the deviled eggs, and she made such good deviled eggs. So shout out to you, Aunt Kate. We love ya. Here comes his feet. I'm just kind of like cutting it. I hope that you can see this. There's one. Can you see that okay, Jerry? Mm-hmm. There's those 2 little feet right there with this is my carrot. And now we're gonna make his little beak. We can actually use whatever came out of in between those. Please be careful of your fingers because this is so, delicate, but I'm just gonna kind of like cut it just a little smaller. There you go. So we have an olive here, and that's what's going to be his eyes. I love olives. So I have a straw, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut it just a little smaller, just so we can manage it. And I don't want really round eyes, so if I pinch it like that, I can get kind of like soulful eyes. So I'm going to pinch it and push it into my olive, and this is how we're going to have his eyes. 1, 2... And if it gets stuck in there, I could just push it out with this toothpick. There we go. And so now I have my eyes and my feet and my beak. Here goes his little beak. Feel free to tap it with your fingers anytime because it's a little gooey and it sometimes can be messy. Here comes his eyes. I made a couple extra eyes, and that way if some of them are bigger or smaller or whatever, I can kind of like match up the same size ones. But don't expect them to be perfect because, you know, there's quite a variety in these when you make them.
I see. And now just
Here come his feet.
the two little feet.
I think I could like tweak him a little bit too when the camera turns off.
And there we go. Boink, boink, boink.
This is such a fun project to do, and I know that you're gonna love it. By the way, 6 eggs made 5 chicks. I hope you try it and enjoy it as much as we did. Oh dear, what a mess. This is not quite what I thought it would be.
Was the inside cooked?
Yeah. Dear.
It's okay.